Hey everyone! Breaking news for millions of Americans who depend on Social Security benefits. In today's video, I'm bringing you the details on a potential $700 monthly increase that could be coming for certain Social Security recipients. This could be one of the most significant boosts to benefits in years, and you need to know if you qualify. Are you receiving SSI, SSDI, or regular Social Security retirement benefits? Have you been struggling to keep up with rising costs? This update could completely change your financial situation. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss these crucial Social Security updates that could put more money in your pocket. Now let's dive into exactly who qualifies for this increase and how it might affect you or your loved ones. The Social Security Administration has been facing mounting pressure to address the growing gap between benefit payments and the actual cost of living for recipients. While the annual COLA, cost of living adjustment, has provided some relief, many recipients have found that these increases simply haven't kept pace with real-world expenses, especially in categories that hit seniors and disabled Americans hardest, like housing, healthcare, and groceries. Have you noticed how your benefits seem to stretch less and less each year despite the annual adjustments? This newly proposed increase would target specific categories of beneficiaries who have been most affected by economic pressures. The plan would provide up to $700 additional dollars monthly for those who meet certain criteria, representing a significant boost to their financial stability. For someone currently receiving the average SSDI payment of around $1,400, this could mean a 50% increase in monthly benefits, a truly life-changing amount. So who exactly qualifies for this potential increase? The primary focus is on beneficiaries who fall into specific categories. First, individuals who receive both SSI and SSDI concurrently and are below the federal poverty level would be eligible for the maximum increase. These dual-eligible recipients have been identified as particularly vulnerable to economic hardship, as they typically have severe disabilities that prevent any supplemental income through part-time work. Is this your situation or someone you know? Additionally, Social Security retirement beneficiaries who rely solely on their benefits for at least 90% of their income and receive less than the current average benefit amount would also be eligible for a scaled version of the increase. This is designed to help those who worked in lower-wage jobs throughout their careers and consequently receive smaller benefit checks, despite having the same essential costs as other retirees. The push for this increase comes after multiple studies revealed that nearly 40% of Social Security recipients rely on these benefits for at least 90% of their income. When we consider rising housing costs, medical expenses, and grocery prices, many recipients have been forced to make impossible choices between medications, food, and keeping a roof over their heads. Does this sound familiar? For many viewers, this is the harsh reality they face each month. Congressional advocates for this increase have pointed to the rapid rise in housing costs as a primary factor necessitating this adjustment. The average rent for a one-bedroom apartment has increased by over 25% in many metropolitan areas over the past 3 years, while property taxes and homeowners insurance have similarly climbed for those who own their homes. These increases have far outpaced the standard Social Security COLA adjustments, creating a widening gap between benefits and actual living expenses. Now, you might be wondering, is this just another proposal that will get caught up in political gridlock? That's a fair question given recent history, but this particular initiative has gained surprising bipartisan support. Representatives from both parties have acknowledged the critical situation many Social Security recipients face, particularly in districts with higher percentages of elderly and disabled constituents. The human impact of insufficient benefits has become impossible to ignore, especially as constituent offices report increasing calls for assistance from those struggling to make ends meet. The proposed implementation would occur in phases, with the most vulnerable recipients receiving increases first. This would include those who receive both SSI and SSDI and have no other income sources. The second phase would extend to low-income Social Security retirement beneficiaries. The final phase would address recipients who fall just outside these categories but still demonstrate significant financial need based on local cost of living factors. Now, you're probably wondering about the timeline. When could you potentially see this increase in your monthly benefits? The current proposal calls for implementation beginning in January 2026, with preliminary assessments of eligibility starting in late 2025. However, there is growing pressure to expedite this timeline given the urgent needs of many recipients. Some congressional representatives are pushing for at least a partial implementation by mid-2025. Have you been keeping up with how your representatives stand on this issue? Funding for this substantial increase would come from multiple sources. First, the proposed adjustment to the Social Security tax cap would generate significant additional revenue. Currently, earnings above $168,600 aren't subject to Social Security taxes, but the new proposal would gradually increase this cap. Additionally, a small adjustment to the payroll tax rate spread over several years would contribute to funding without creating an undue burden on workers. A critical aspect of this proposal is that it wouldn't negatively impact the long-term solvency of the Social Security trust funds. In fact, some analysts suggest that by providing more adequate benefits to lower-income recipients, there could be reduced strain on other social safety net programs, potentially creating broader budget efficiencies over time. For those concerned about eligibility, the SSA would utilize existing information in most cases to determine who qualifies for the increase. This means that many recipients wouldn't need to take any action to receive the additional funds. The adjustment would be calculated and applied automatically. However, some beneficiaries might be contacted to provide updated information about their total income and expenses to ensure they receive the correct amount. What steps should you take now? First, ensure that your contact information is up to date with the Social Security Administration. This includes your mailing address, phone number, and email if you've provided one. Second, if you've had any significant changes to your household income or expenses in the past year, make sure this information is reflected in your SSA records. This could affect your eligibility for the maximum increase when the time comes. It's also worth noting that this potential increase wouldn't affect eligibility for other assistance programs like SNAP benefits, Medicaid, or housing subsidies. The proposal includes provisions to prevent recipients from losing other essential supports due to this increase in their Social Security income. This has been a significant concern in previous benefit adjustments, where recipients sometimes found themselves in the difficult position of having slightly more income but losing access to other valuable programs. Many advocacy groups have been fighting for this type of targeted increase for years, arguing that the standard COLA calculations don't adequately reflect the real expenses faced by seniors and disabled Americans. Medical costs alone have consistently risen faster than general inflation, creating a disproportionate burden on Social Security recipients. Does your current benefit amount truly cover your essential needs? As we approach potential implementation, it's important to stay informed about developments. The specific details of eligibility and the exact increase amounts could still evolve as the proposal moves through the legislative process. That's why subscribing to this channel is so important. I'll continue to bring you the latest updates as they become available, breaking down what they mean for you in clear, straightforward terms. For those who might not qualify for the maximum increase, there may still be good news. The proposal includes scaled adjustments that would provide at least some additional support to a broader range of beneficiaries. Even a more modest increase could help offset rising costs and provide more breathing room in tight monthly budgets. Remember, Social Security isn't just a government program, it's a promise made to Americans who have worked hard and contributed throughout their lives. This potential $700 increase represents an acknowledgement that the current benefit structure hasn't kept pace with the real costs faced by recipients. It's a step toward fulfilling that promise more completely. Before I wrap up this video, I want to encourage you to share this information with friends or family members who receive Social Security benefits. Many people, especially older recipients, might not be aware of these potential changes or understand how they could be affected. Sharing knowledge is one of the most powerful ways we can help each other navigate these complex systems. If you found this information helpful, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on Social Security, retirement planning, and navigating financial challenges on a fixed income. I'm committed to bringing you the most accurate, up-to-date information on these crucial topics that affect millions of Americans. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video with more updates as this important proposal develops. Stay informed, stay prepared, and remember, knowledge about your benefits is power.